to show the flight. Now this was the second flight when I wasn't actually climbing into any great altitude, which when I was running the battery down the other day. I need to go back to the actual flight where I couldn't do this earlier because it said it hadn't uploaded. I don't know what it was on about. I mean, because, well, actually, when I was flying, I had it on airplane mode. I had it on airplane mode so that I would get less interference. I thought. At least I thought I would, but apparently not. But anyway, let's see. So it would be 15:43 and 54 seconds. That would have been the flight when I went up to take some clear skies video. So let's have a look. I want to play that one. I had to turn the GPS off because my map kept moving across over. GPS doesn't lock on when I'm indoors and it gets confused and keeps scrolling off the screen. So anyway, if we look at well, let me just move this orange ball out of the way. I'll stick it over here because it's blocking some of the telemetry data, yeah. So if I play it now, we'll see where I took off. Right, play that. I'm going to do it in ×1 because if you're on YouTube, you can click on the speed on there and speed it up or slow it down. So it might be best that I just play it at the normal speed because on YouTube, if I speed it up now, you won't be able to slow it down on YouTube sufficiently. So yeah, it's best that I do it in normal speed, which is annoying because that means I've got to waffle for however long the flight was. So anyway, the altitude there is 36 meters. I'm coming down now. It was really stable. I mean, look at that. It held its position, its horizontal position really well. I went up and then I came down. I went up again, and I'm not sure. I can't remember now. Was it the first time I went up when the birds came? I think it was the second time I went up. A bunch of birds flew right in front of my camera, and I was shaking a bit. I was nervous. I thought, shit, you know. And I also didn't want to fly too far away because if you're flying out of, even if you're in visual line of sight, if you can't see your drone, I mean, that's not good. I mean, especially if you lose signal with your remote, that's not good. I mean, you can press the auto return to home, and if you've lost signal, it won't do it. Yeah, I mean, so that's why I was a bit nervous about flying. Right, so anyway, that's when I came back. I was doing some flights over the grass because I like to stay on the grass, and looking at the telemetry, I actually stayed on the grass, over the grass. So if something had happened and it had fallen for some reason, it would have landed on the grass, hopefully. Mind you can't be guaranteed because if wind gusts come along, they can blow it and move it, and yeah, there's no guarantee it would have landed there. But as I say, I've never had a power failure with it. It's the only times I've had problems with the Seafly is when I first power it up, if it's got a miscalibration, and that's when it does a flip onto its head. I haven't seen that in this flight though. I did a recalibration before flying it. Oh yeah, this is where I did a hand catch, I think. Oh, actually. Oh, right. So that was a short flight when I went up, and that's when the birds spooked me a bit. That's when I decided to go up again. So the total duration was 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So I wasn't up very long, was I? Let's just play that again because I missed it. So I've got, well, now, altitude, I went up to 65 meters. Unless this has got fragmented. I mean, this recorded data might have got fragmented. It might have been 2 or 3 recordings. I don't know. But all of a sudden, I was at 60 somewhat meters when I started playing it. So I'm not sure why. Well, I'm coming down now. Oh, you know why, don't you? Because I lost signal, didn't I? I lost signal. So it would have started a new telemetry. That's probably why it's recorded me at a higher altitude at 62 meters and it coming down because I lost signal. So right, I've already played that back. Now I'm going to stop it because I want to go back and find out if there's a telemetry one before that. Let's see, 1538. Yeah, that must be the one. So right where that orange ball is, right there, that is when I actually first took off. Let's see, check the date. 28th of the 20th of the 5th. 20, yeah, I've got it now. So the 20th. Oh, there's one that's 4 seconds. That was when I first started up. So the one below it, it says 4 seconds. That was when I was first calibrating it, and it wouldn't record. So I shut the drone down. There's one below that as well. It said 1 meter. Oh, that's when I was moving it around. I was carrying it. So this is the one we want where I actually took off. Right, it's this one. So let's look at this one. Yeah, alright, this looks like the one. Oh my god, looks a bit wiggly there. Right, let's play this one. This is the one where I went up to my altitude and when I lost signal. Right, let's play that one. So I'm at 1 meter there. And this will be the one where I went up to my maximum altitude and I increased it to or was it no, I increased my maximum altitude to 90 meters, but I didn't go up to 90 meters. My return to home altitude was still set at 70 meters. So my return to home altitude was 70 meters, but I could go higher than 70 meters because I increased it to 90 maximum. And I was actually trying a test, an experiment on it, and I wanted to see how high legally, I was being very observant about the legality of it all. I want to see how high I could go legally, because there's nothing in the air at the time. There's no aircraft. There was nothing. It was dead quiet, really, fairly quiet, apart from a few cars rushing by. So there we go. I'm climbing 7 meters. I went up a bit, I came down a bit, I went up a bit, but I couldn't see the freaking phone screen. I couldn't see what my signal was like because the text is so hard to read. They need to fix the app. The app is very poor for the Seafly Faith Mini. If I use the other app, the one for the Seafly 2, it glitches, the video glitches on it. It jumps about. It's not meant for the Seafly Faith Mini. So I don't really like flying the app for the other drone, which is not made for this one. Anyway, there we go. I'm at 15 meters climbing. 20 meters. Coming up to... Look how stable it is, though. The drone is actually right in the middle there. 32 meters. I was at 32 meters at that point. It wasn't drifting around, so that's good. There was a little bit of wobble, though, because of the wind. So at some point I went up a bit more. I think it was around here somewhere. I was panning around looking at, taking the scenery, and I was just checking to see if I could see the ocean scenery. I was trying to guesstimate it because I couldn't see the app. Right, 50 meters there. So let's see, did I actually go above 70 meters? Because I could look at the video and it says on the video at the bottom left hand corner what the altitude was. But I edited out, so I wanted to stick as much of the HD high definition video in as possible. So I was at 53 meters, 54 meters, 55, 56, 57, 58. I think that's around about where them birds were, and birds flew and irritated me and spooked me a bit. So let's see, I'm close to 60 meters altitude. And it was when I lost signal, I went up a bit more. I'm not sure if I went above 70 meters when I lost signal. I'm not sure. The GPS of the drone itself gets stronger GPS at higher altitude, so it was able to maintain its position because the GPS would have kept it locked on place, even though my remote control, lost signal with the drone still had a good GPS signal, which is what's important. So it would have done I thought it did start to do a return to home. It was on the verge of doing that, but then the signal came back, so I don't think it did. But I think I was bringing it down then, because I got spooked. So, right, what's 35, 35? I'm coming back down there. Those birds really scare the crap out of you. I mean, because if one bird hits one of the props, if just one prop stops spinning for a second, it will shut down. It will tilt to on its side, and all of the motors will turn off, and it'll just plummet straight down on your head, basically. So, it only takes one bird strike on your prop to bring it down, because the design's for safety, so that the drone itself won't cut anybody or cause injury. So if the props are stalled, if one of the props is stalled, it will tilt over on its side and it'll just plummet out of the sky, which is what worries me. Hopefully the noise of the props, which is extremely loud, will make sure the birds stay away, because that's the only insurance you've got, really, is noise. The noise from the drone itself would probably keep the birds from wanting to get too close, because that noise is sounds like bees, doesn't it? Sounds like bees, a swarm of bees. And I don't think birds like to fly near bees. So where are we at? 46 meters there. So where was it when I lost the signal? Because it'll be at end of this video, it'll be end of this screen capture where I lost the signal. And I'm not sure what caused that. If it was Wi-Fi interference from a neighbour, I don't know. I was so focused on watching the drop. This is where I'm going up, look, 52, 53, 54, 55. So I was climbing, and this is where I lost signal. 60 meters, 60, 70 meters, 73. That's it. I think that's where I lost signal there, because it stops. It stops at 73.3 meters altitude. So I lost signal at that moment. This is why this replay is only going up to 73.3 meters. So this stopped, and it did a fresh recording. So if I go back, it did a next. This is the continuation when I resumed, when I regained connection. Was this second one? This is when it regained connection, because if you look, the altitude is at 70 meters there. Look, so play that one. So that is one we've just been playing, I think. So that's when I was bringing it back down again. So it regained connection, and it carried on recording the telemetry. So this is when I was coming back down again, because I thought, oh shit, I lost, something happened there, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know what was going on, but look at the position though. It's still exactly where the previous recording was. So it hasn't drifted, because the GPS kept it in lock, in stationary lock, as in its horizontal position, longitude and latitude position. So I was bringing it back down, and that's when I realised my battery was only at, half flat. It was about 55%. And it was then that I decided to fly it for a bit longer to run the battery down, because I just wanted to put it away for a while. Because I got my video footage that I wanted to get. I got the footage from the castle and the harbour, and looking at that. I mean, it was a perfect day. Perfect day, very clear skies. It was ideal situation, apart from the freaking birds, So this, yeah. So I had 6, and if you look at satellites, I had plenty of satellites. So they were actually dropping a bit at 1.6 meters, but you get more satellites as you go higher up. GPS satellites, that is. So the third one, the third recording, the third telemetry data. Basically, that was when I didn't really climb anywhere. I was just doing a selfie. If you watch my video, I'll probably put a link. I can't, with these vertical videos, you can't do an end screen, but you can do what do you call it? You can put a little link at the top of the screen, like I forget what we call it now. But anyway, I'll try and do that. So yeah, that's where I came down and I was landing. I think I did a hand catch or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I did. So that was that one. Um, so yeah, let's go back to the final one, which was this top one. That was the one where I was flying out across the grass and back. And this was low altitude. I had 19 satellites there at 1 meter or 0.9 meters. 1 meter anyway. Now, so yeah, this is where I was just doing a selfie. And I actually went down the grass and panned around a bit, and I didn't really climb very high on this one. But this is all the last two telemetry. The first two telemetries were for the first flight, and this last telemetry was for the second flight, which wasn't really high at all. I went up to about 30 meters, something. And the reason I went up is because some guy came out of a door further down the path, and I didn't want to get him on video, so I thought I'll just climb away from him so I don't get him on. And I came back down again. It was healthcare work. I didn't want to video him without consent, obviously, and he was making a fuss or something. I don't know. He was saying, "What have you got a camera on it?" Blah blah blah. And he walked into my shot. It wasn't my fault. He walked onto my shot. So yeah. Anyway, then I come back down again because he's walked away a bit. And I had to wait for him to walk around and go down the road or something, and then I did my selfie video a little bit. So there I'm only at 4.4 meters altitude, and I was testing it and make sure everything's stable and everything. It seemed to fly okay. I was just a little bit rattled by the birds flying and the signal interruption, whatever caused that, I don't know, because I don't have any equipment on me to scan what it was. So it was most likely Wi-Fi, because there's a lot of people down here with some pretty hefty Wi-Fi routers for their internet, and it doesn't take much to disrupt your signal. If your signal happens to be on the same frequency as their Wi-Fi router, then it's going to disrupt it. It's just bad luck, really, that would happen. I mean, this is not a DJI drone. It doesn't have signal hopping, which is when it can jump to different frequencies. It doesn't have that feature built in. So, I mean, the problem with some drones is they're on a fixed frequency. And if you come across a signal problem where the signal's been interfered with by another something else that's nearby that's using the same frequency, it won't move. It won't jump to another frequency. It can't do that. Well, see, some of the DJI ones can do that. They can actually signal hop to different frequencies, which is really beneficial if you're in a town or a city, or especially in a city where there's a lot of people using Wi-Fi. Where I am, though, I mean, where I am is, I mean, by the sea, and it's not that dense, really. We don't have a lot of tall flats and buildings, really, but I can see why DJI is doing so well, because it's much more suitable for city use. Whereas the Seafly Faith Mini is more for countryside or remote use. I'll see if I can get another flight in possibly before the end of this month, but at some point I need to get my Civil Aviation Authority certificate renewed. Now, I know a guy was saying that you don't need to register in the open group, but according to the Civil Aviation Authority, I do, because in the UK The laws are slightly different over here than what they are in America and other countries. I mean, over here, they're saying that you have to have a digital ID in well, you have to have a certificate, what you call it, a flyer ID, and your drone has to be registered. I don't know. Well, it's confusing. It's confusing. I just err on the side of err on the side of safety and to stay within the law and everything as much as I can, really, because that way there's no argument. But when you start to go into an area that's a bit of a grey area, and somebody says, "Oh, well, you don't need to register your drone," well, I need to hear that from some official person like the police or someone said, "Oh, you don't need to register it because it's below 249 grams, below 250 grams." Well, the trouble is, I haven't heard that officially. I've only heard it from most people who aren't living in this country. So I mean, it might be different where they live. You know, the laws are different in different countries. So it's very unsettling when you don't know exactly where you stand. You know. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That was when I did the selfie, and I think was I was about to land it there somewhere. I was at 4 meters. So I'll get this uploaded probably tonight. Shouldn't be too big, hopefully. I had to wait for a few days for this thing to upload to um, my account for some reason. I don't know why it didn't get there, but I think the internet was just not very good. Because I've had trouble with the internet down here anyway. The 4G network is pretty bad. It's really, really poor. So I think it's about to end there. It's at the end of the timeline thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Uh, it's nearly finished now. Alright. Bye for now.